Hello, good people, and welcome to Finance Goals Hub. Here, we learn, we connect, and we grow. In this short video, we are going to learn how to use Power Query's Unpivoting feature to transform data, which will make it easier for us to analyze. As you always do, let's get to this in 5 minutes in Excel. So in an earlier post on LinkedIn, I shared the proper way to lay out data in Excel, Power BI, or any data analysis tool. These are the 3 golden rules. That each column should have a single data type. So column or fields, this is a name column. Everything here should be names. Everything here should be age, salary, and so on. When you select a row or a record, it should give you information on the item or the person. Okay, so this whole thing should represent a record of a variable you are analyzing. And of course, in Excel, each cell should have a single value. So you don't enter more than one value in a cell. If you abide by these 3 golden rules, data is easier to analyze in Excel or Power BI. Now, let's look at an example of bad data and how to use Power Query to transform this. So this is my sample data. I have students here, I have location, I have facilitator, and I have courses. Up to this point in the data, everything is fine because I have the same record in each field or column. But if you take a look at this, now the months are spread across, and I have my amounts also spread over the 12 columns. This is not going to be easy to analyze, even though you can get some answers. It will be easier if you had all the months under one column. So going down, you have January and so on. And then another column here that is going to have all your amounts. Okay. So ideally, your data should be longer, not wider. Now, if you have data like this, how do you transform it into this shape? We are going to use a process called unpivoting. So unpivoting is going to take these columns that are going across and collapse them into 2 columns. So I have months and then I have amounts. So let's get to this in Power Query. So if this is a data block, you can stand anywhere, and the Power Query tool is located under the Data tab, Get and Transform Data. You can use it to connect from any data source. So for this purpose, we are going to connect from Sheets or from Range, depending on your version. And it's going to just highlight the dimension or the block. First, it's going to convert it into a table. So I'll click OK. And then it's going to convert it into a table and transport into Power Query. So here I am in Power Query. My table has been loaded, and these are the columns in my data set. Now, you can do this in 2 ways. So you can start off by selecting the columns that are properly laid out. Okay, so these ones are okay. Our goal is to unpivot these other ones. Okay, so if I have selected the ones that are okay, I come to transform and I see unpivot columns. So it is not these ones I'm unpivoting, it's the other ones that are collapsing into 2 columns. I'll choose unpivot other columns. So when I choose unpivot other columns, what is going to happen here is that it's going to collapse all the months into 1 column. So I can name this months. And then I have my values also in 1 column. Okay, so I can also name this amount. So now this meets the 3 golden rules. I have everything laid out properly. Now, after you've done this, what you're going to do is you are going to close and load to. So the default is to convert this into a table in Excel. So when I choose close and load to, I have these options here. I'm going to choose the default table so that I get a conversion into a table, and I'll click OK. Of course, you can also directly create a pivot table out of this. I'll click OK. And now I have my data sets with just these 2 columns collapsed into months and amount. This way it's easier to even create a pivot table out of this. So can insert a pivot table, and let me just place it by the side here. And now in this pivot table, I want to analyze cost and amount. It's easier this way. You can even insert a slicer because of this layout. So I can go and insert a slicer and then view this report in months. Okay. And this is possible because we have all the months in one column. So take the lessons, and when you're laying out data, ideally it should be longer instead of wider. Abide by the 3 golden rules, and it should be easier for you to analyze. Please practice and add it to your list of Excel tricks. For more of these short videos, you can send ad to this WhatsApp number. We send videos directly to you on WhatsApp. All our old videos are on our YouTube channel, Finest Skills Hub. Please visit and subscribe for notification of new videos, or connect with us on any of these social media handles. Thank you so much for watching.